The night was still, a canvas of deep indigo painted across the sky. The air hung heavy and undisturbed, not a whisper of wind to stir the leaves outside. Clara's home was silent, each room holding its breath, as if afraid to disturb the memories that lingered within the walls. The ticking of the grandfather clock in the hall was the only sound that dared to break the quiet. A silence that had settled in since her husband Mark's death 6 months ago, a constant companion in her grief. The laughter, the shared stories, the simple joy of their presence together, all echoes now, fading into the vast emptiness. She was learning to live with the emptiness, to navigate the hollow spaces in her heart and home, until tonight. Tonight, the silence would be shattered. A vibration broke the quiet, a sudden jarring tremor that cut through the stillness like a knife. A text message, an unwelcome intrusion into her solitude. She glanced at her phone, her eyes heavy with fatigue, expecting nothing unusual, just another automated notification, or perhaps a message from a friend. But the name on the screen stopped her heart, a jolt of disbelief and fear surging through her veins. Mark. She stared, frozen, her breath caught in her throat at his contact photo, his smile from their last vacation, a memory that now felt like a lifetime ago. It couldn't be. This had to be some kind of mistake. She deactivated his phone plan herself, a painful task she'd forced herself to complete. Yet there it was, defying logic, defying reality. His name, his face, mocking her grief or offering a lifeline. For minutes, she hovered over the phone, the screen illuminating her face in the dim light, torn between fear and desperate hope. Could it truly be him? Or was this a cruel trick of her mind? Was it a cruel prank, a glitch in the system, or something impossible, something beyond comprehension? Finally, with trembling hands, her fingers clumsy and uncoordinated, she unlocked the message, her heart pounding in her chest like a trapped bird. The cool glass felt like ice against her fingertips, a chilling premonition of what she was about to uncover. She was about to cross a line, a threshold she never imagined existed, between the known and the unexplainable, between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. This wasn't just a text. This was something far more profound, far more terrifying. It was a signal from somewhere no one returns from, a message carried on the wings of the unknown. A digital ghost had entered her life, shattering the fragile peace she had so carefully constructed. The boundaries between life and death, technology and the supernatural, the real and the imagined, were about to blur into an indistinguishable mess, twisting her perception of reality. Nothing would ever be the same again. Her life was about to be irrevocably altered by a message from beyond the grave. The message was simple. "You still awake?" It was Mark's late-night phrase, a private ritual. Clara's heart pounded. This was too personal to be random. She replied, hands shaking. "Who?" The response came instantly. "It's me, Sunshine. Sunshine," his secret pet name for her. Dread and longing tangled inside her. Over the next days, more texts arrived, always at odd hours. "Miss your laugh. Remember the little cafe in Paris?" Each message unlocked a memory only Mark could know. Clara read them over and over, searching for a flaw, a sign it wasn't him. But the words, the cadence, the love, it was all Mark. She was caught between craving the next message and fearing it. Was she talking to her dead husband, or was this a cruel, sophisticated hoax? The paradox consumed her. The texts were intimate, loving, and terrifying. She questioned her sanity, but the messages kept coming. Each one deepened the mystery. Was this grief, a trick, or something beyond explanation? Telling anyone felt like confessing to madness, a descent into delusion that no one else could possibly understand. The very idea of voicing these experiences felt like a betrayal of reality, a step into a realm of the impossible. How could she explain the unexplainable, the messages that defied logic and reason? The fear of judgment, of being labeled unstable, kept her silent. Clara, wrestling with her fear and confusion, eventually decided she needed to confide in someone. She called her sister Sarah, seeking a voice of reason, a grounding force in the midst of the chaos. She explained the messages, the chilling familiarity, the impossible source. Sarah's response was gentle but skeptical. She listened patiently, her tone laced with concern, but the underlying message was clear. She struggled to believe what Clara was telling her. "Grief can do strange things, Clara," Sarah said, her voice soft with empathy. "It can cloud our judgment, make us see things that aren't there, or interpret events in ways that defy logic." Unconvinced by Sarah's explanation, Clara sought another opinion. Her friend David, a tech enthusiast with a knack for unraveling digital mysteries, took a different approach. He was intrigued, seeing the situation as a puzzle to be solved. He scrolled through the texts, his fingers flying across the screen, convinced it was a hacker exploiting a vulnerability or a sophisticated spoofing app designed to mimic Mark's communication style. He dove deep into the phone's settings, searching for any trace of malicious software. The idea of someone weaponizing Mark's memories, twisting their shared past into a source of torment, horrified Clara. It felt like a violation, a desecration of everything she held dear. No one, not Sarah, not David, not any of her other friends, believed it could actually be Mark communicating from beyond the grave. The very suggestion seemed absurd, a product of her grief-stricken mind. Their skepticism, while perhaps well-intentioned, isolated her further, creating a chasm between her reality and theirs. She felt like she was standing on the edge of a precipice, with no one willing to reach out and pull her back. She hid the phone, tucked away in a drawer like a forbidden object, silenced notifications, desperate to escape the constant reminders of the impossible, and pretended, for the sake of appearances, that the messages had stopped, that everything was returning to normal. She plastered on a fake smile, went through the motions of daily life, all the while carrying the weight of her secret. But at night, when the world was quiet and the darkness amplified her fears, she read every new text in secret, her heart pounding in her chest with a mixture of dread and anticipation. "The dog misses you," left the porch light on. Each message was a fresh wound, a painful reminder of her loss, and a bittersweet comfort, a fragile connection to the man she loved, even if that connection defied all reason. Clara lived a double life, a life fractured by grief and the impossible. Grieving widow by day, putting on a brave face for the world, attending support groups, and navigating the mundane tasks of life without Mark. Haunted recipient by night, consumed by the cryptic messages and the gnawing uncertainty of their origin. Doubt crept in, whispering insidious suggestions of delusion and manipulation. But the messages felt too personal, too intimate, too real to dismiss as mere coincidence or a cruel prank. She was alone with her secret, trapped in a solitary world where the boundaries between reality and the supernatural blurred, torn between the desperate hope that it truly was Mark reaching out from beyond and the paralyzing fear of what that possibility might entail. The divide between her and her loved ones grew wider with each passing day, fueled by their disbelief and her inability to share the full extent of her experience. The haunting, whether real or imagined, was hers alone to bear, a solitary burden in a world that refused to understand. Desperate for answers, Clara contacted the phone company. The agent insisted Mark's number was disconnected and unreassigned. They suggested number spoofing, but couldn't trace or block the phantom texts. Clara went to the police, feeling foolish. The officer called it harassment, likely by someone she knew but offered no help. David tried his own tech tricks. Reverse lookups, tracing software. Every search ended the same. Origin unknown. The number left no digital footprint. It was as if the messages materialized from nowhere. David's theories hit a wall. Clara was left with no logical explanation. Official channels failed her. She was trapped in a technological twilight zone. The evidence pointed to something untraceable. The possibility she feared most began to feel real. The atmosphere in Clara's house changed. Lights flickered when texts arrived. The TV turned on to static, filling the room with hissing whispers. A text, "Cold tonight." An icy draft swept through, breath visible in the air. The phone emitted static before messages, even on mute. On a call with Sarah, a text arrived. Static drowned out the line. The message, "Just us." The digital haunting bled into the physical world. Clara slept with the lights on, nerves frayed. She was living on the edge, caught in the static between worlds. The messages grew urgent, almost aware. One night, as Clara cried over a photo album, her phone buzzed. "Don't be sad, sunshine." It was a direct response to her actions, not a memory. Was someone watching her, or was Mark's spirit truly present? The turning point came at 3 a.m., a phone call from Mark's number. She'd only received texts before. Heart pounding, she answered. Static filled her ear, then a faint, distorted voice. "Clara!" It was Mark's voice, strained and distant. The line went dead. Clara sat in shock, tears streaming. Terror and joy collided inside her. A text could be faked, but his voice? Skepticism shattered. This was no longer about hackers or grief. It was a direct, audible message from beyond. The haunting was now a living presence. Why was he reaching out? What did he want? The questions deepened. Clara's reality was forever changed. Science and skepticism offer explanations. Number spoofing lets anyone fake a caller ID. A hacker could access Mark's cloud accounts, learn his secrets, and torment Clara. Technical glitches recycled numbers. Network errors can cause bizarre misdirected messages. Even rare, a system bug could reactivate a dormant number. Grief itself can create patterns from chaos, apophenia, the mind's way of finding meaning. Could Clara be projecting Mark onto random texts? Each theory is plausible, each chilling in its own way, but none fully explain the specificity, the timing, the voice. The mystery remains. Skeptics miss the emotional resonance of Clara's experience. Paranormal investigators suggest technology can be a conduit for spirits. A strong emotional bond and sudden loss might allow a spirit to manipulate devices. The phone becomes a bridge between worlds. Could a hacker know every detail or make lights flicker on cue? Instrumental transcommunication. Spirits using electronics to reach out is a real theory. Clara's grief could amplify the connection, making contact possible. The messages comfort her, proof that love endures. For believers, this is not horror, but a testament to unbreakable bonds. The texts are whispers from the other side. We stand at a crossroads, a pivotal moment demanding a choice, belief or disbelief. The path ahead is shrouded in mystery, and the answers are far from clear. Clara's journey spans the depths of grief, a landscape of sorrow and loss that shapes her reality. It also involves technology, the digital realm that connects us, yet can also deceive and distort. And it touches upon the supernatural, the unexplained forces that linger just beyond our understanding. The evidence, fragmented and complex, points in three distinct directions, each offering a potential explanation. First, the hacker, a malicious presence lurking in the shadows of the internet. A faceless villain, hidden behind lines of code, exploiting her pain for their own twisted amusement, turning cherished memories, once a source of comfort, into weapons designed to inflict maximum emotional damage. If this is true, Clara is not haunted by a ghost, but hunted by a very real and dangerous individual. Second, the haunting, a spectral presence reaching out from beyond the veil. Mark's love, defying the boundaries of death, survives, a testament to the enduring power of connection. Reaching out through the static of the digital world, a faint signal of love amidst the noise. If this is true, Clara is not a victim, but a witness to a miracle, a profound and inexplicable event. Third, heartbreak, the devastating impact of loss and the fragility of the human mind. Clara's mind, shattered by the unbearable weight of loss, seeks solace in the unreal, creating a comforting illusion, a fabricated reality where she can still feel connected to the one she lost. If this is true, the story is not about ghosts or hackers, but about the immense and transformative power of grief and its ability to shape our perceptions. So what do you believe? Which explanation resonates most deeply within you? Is it a cruel hoax, a calculated deception designed to prey on vulnerability? Or is it a loving spirit, reaching out from beyond, offering comfort and reassurance? Or perhaps, is it simply a mind struggling to cope with unimaginable loss, finding solace in the impossible? We present the evidence before you, the fragmented pieces of a complex puzzle. But some mysteries, like the echoes of a distant dream, aren't meant to be fully solved. Their allure lies in their ambiguity. The truth, elusive and multifaceted, may lie in the shadows between these possibilities, a blend of reality and perception. The only certainty we can cling to, the single undeniable fact, is that Clara's phone, a portal to the unknown, received messages from the dead, or so it seems. The rest, the interpretation of these events, is for you to decide, to weigh the evidence and draw your own conclusions. In the end, the boundary between technology and the afterlife, between the tangible and the ethereal, is often thinner than we think, a veil easily pierced by grief or hope. And sometimes, in ways we cannot fully comprehend, the ones we love find a way to reach us, no matter where they are, their connection transcending even death itself.